Imagine making 3 times, 4 times the amount in the same amount of time frame, if not less work. People will start getting hesitant when you talk about hard money loans. Okay, what is it? How does it work? I thought I had to know everything about construction, about everything, literally everything. You find the right people who know how to do the thing. We're taught that the only way to buy a house is traditional financing.
Conventional.
FHA, conventional.
When someone looks at a flip, they're thinking all the tasks that go into it, and they watch the HGTV shows, this, that, and the other, and they're like, I could never do that.
The hardest step is the first one. The moment I bought my first property, took that first step, oh my God, it opened my world. That blew my mind. I'm like, people need housing, which is why real estate investing will never go out of style. I couldn't sleep for weeks. I was like, oh my, there's never a perfect time. Pick your poison and just go after it. I think it's just the lack of knowledge.
But why do they want to escape being a realtor? Is it like, I want to, because you could say, hey, if you're a 9-to-5er and you want to escape the corporate rat race and be an investor, if you're an agent, do you want to escape the...
I mean, think about this. For the same amount of time you put in to working with a client, whether it's a buyer or seller, imagine making 3 times, 4 times the amount in the same amount of time frame, if not less work.
So how would you say,
that's a no-brainer.
What would you categorize the pain of the real estate hustle?
Lack of information. I think it's lack of information.
What is it? Like, I'm trying to say, hey, if you're a real estate agent and you want to get out of the realtor hustle.
No, you know what it is?
But it's their time.
What would you say?
I know where it is. Limiting belief. They're able to help a client from point A to Z buy a house. Yet, they can't take themselves into buying a property.
Well, I like that.
And fixing and flipping it. Like, you have the information. Like, what I think it's, a realtor has all the information to take a client from A to Z, meaning I'll help you find a house, the greatest deal, negotiate, get in contract, and then close on that property. The only missing piece is, and actually you can also sell it too, list it on the market and sell it. That's what an agent does. The middle piece, the middle component, which is
the construction.
The construction, the rehab, that's what's missing.
But do you think it's that they're missing it because of lack of information, or it's that they don't feel like they can give the time to do it? You're talking about limiting belief.
Limiting belief, exactly.
Like we talked about yesterday, they're their own boss,
right?
But they're not. They don't have just one boss either. They have 20 bosses, and they're looking at all these people for all these different houses and all these different criteria, and they're like, I gotta run to this showing and that showing. So it comes back to what you're saying, limiting beliefs.
So I think it's limiting belief.
Yeah, that they don't.
Because the information is there. The information is there. I think they understand what fixing and flipping is. You buy a house, you fix it up, and you sell it. That's all it is. And then you, as in the beginning at least, you might want to wear all the hats just to understand the process.
And you
afterwards, exactly. And afterwards, you can scale and put people in place to manage the whole entire piece. But in the beginning, I think it's simple. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Buy it, rehab, sell it.
I'd say the same thing. It's
rinse
simple,
and repeat.
but it's not
Rinse
easy,
and repeat.
Because there was.
And of course, you're right. There is deeper components into that. Okay, how do you find good deals? Is it the MLS? Is it off-market, direct to seller, wholesalers? Funding the property, the project. I think as realtors, I think that's another piece. I know in the beginning when I was just starting off, we're taught that the only way to buy a house is traditional financing.
Conventional.
FHA, conventional, the typical loan products that an average home buyer uses. Yet there's, oh my God, there's so many more loan programs, specifically hard money loans, that will allow you to buy fixer-uppers. Maybe in the beginning a little bit more upfront, but over time, if you build a strong relationship with the lender, now you're able to get into deals with call it 40, 50 grand. If you're buying, average price point of 400 to 600,000. I mean, you do that over and over. And then after that, the next level is outside investors. So you take private money to fund your down payment. And on top of that, you get the hard money lender to cover the rest of the payment or the funding. So it's like putting those pieces together over time, you can scale as a beast.
100%.
It's a beast machine.
Do you think though, okay, another question for you, because if you think okay, I'm a realtor, I know how to do this from A to Z, and then the missing piece is the funding or financing. I think I've heard is people get stuck on that hard money. They go, what's hard money? And also how do I know it's a good hard money company? So then they're scared. And flipping is completely different from real estate. I'm moving and I have to ship my car. I'm online looking to ship, but I'm also so scared. I'm like, how would I not know this is a scam? Or how do I not know they're going to take my money, right?
So here's what's funny. People start getting hesitant when you talk about hard money loans. Okay, what is it? How does it work? The moment they hear that it costs money to obtain that kind of financing, they're like, oh, no, that's a lot of money. Whether it costs $10,000 or $20,000 to get a $400,000, $500,000 loan, it seems like a lot of money in their minds, which it is. But what does that money get you? Access to a large amount of capital to buy the deal, fix the deal. But at the end, the profit, like that covers
Everything.
everything. You're supposed to, when you're running your numbers, you should account for that cost upfront. Okay. Does it cover my costs? Absolutely. And then the excess is your profit. So there's money to be made. Of course, you got to invest some of, put skin in the game. It costs something. And I think that's another factor, like they're scared to make that investment, that cost upfront.
And possibly what I've heard, and maybe you can talk on how you overcame this, is they're so scared to take on a loan that's like 400, 500 grand. They're like, that's over me. How do I get out from under that? Right? What happens if the house doesn't, what happens? I have 500,000. Like, so my risk, because I think you and I think similarly, like I'm looking, oh, my risk's like 20 grand or 50 grand or whatever on the deal. Because I know that I'm going to be able to fix it up and then sell it and I'm going to get my profit. But they're like, no, my risk is, I'm risking 500,000. If I can't pay this, what do I do?
I think in the beginning, it's really about opening up that level of risk tolerance. Everyone starts off, I know personally, I was low risk tolerance, right? After doing that first deal, I think it ended up growing after that, exponentially, tremendously. But you got to get your foot in the door. Like if you don't take action, you'll never know what your risk tolerance is. You'll always stay in your little bubble, your little box. That's fine. But if you actually want to do this and make big fat checks, which is possible, 100% possible and doable, it's really taking that initiative, that first step to even open the possibility and taking on risk. The second thing to that is, while there is a level of risk involved, there is a way to minimize that. Over time, you're going to get the knowledge and the skills on running the numbers, analyzing the deals. One thing I learned, and I'll never forget this, numbers don't lie. No matter, so one thing about fixing and flipping, it is somewhat of a gamble. Like you're buying it,
calculated gamble.
Calculated, right?
Risk.
You're buying it with the hopes that in the future, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, or a year, when you decide to sell it, that it's going to sell for a lot higher. Market can change. Buyers, they might change the interest rates, whatever it is. There's other factors that are outside of our control. While that's true, there are things that are in our control. Our budget, what we put into the property, the way we market the property. Like, there's a lot of things that are still under our control. And the final component is obviously the numbers. You make your money at the buy. So as long as you're running your numbers properly in the beginning, you always account for worst case scenario, right? So regardless,
conservative numbers.
Absolutely, always. You can say it's gonna sell. This property's gonna sell for 800, 900,000, but like let's say your rehab extends for like another 2 months. Now you're in a different market, so now that just dropped your ARV, right? The value you can sell it at. So accounting for all those things, mistakes, setbacks, rehab, overshooting the budget. If you count that in the beginning, you're still leaving a lot of margin for profit. So you eliminate essentially risk.
So to kind of piggyback off that, would you say, and we talked about this yesterday when it comes to the mindset, would you say the number one thing is this person, whoever it is that wants to invest, is going to have to get outside their comfort zone?
100%. 1,000%.
I think that's it right there.
It really is. This is, even working with buyers, I learned this. The hardest step is the first one. The hardest property you ever buy is the first one. The moment I bought my first property, took that first step, oh my God, it opened my world completely. This is no longer my first rodeo, right? I feel comfortable now. We've had so many setbacks on this one. And even then, I'm here chilling because I know I have the people in place, the contractors, my partner, like we're all on board. We know that we're gonna make this happen. I have that peace of mind, you could say, despite there being problems. Yet compared to my first property that I ever flipped, I couldn't sleep for weeks. Weeks. I was like, oh my God. And I was like overthinking the smallest things. Oh my God, I gotta buy a faucet for that bathroom. Now, like, I'm not even thinking about that right now. That's already picked.
Right.
You know, we have our things that we've already picked out from the start. Like our contractors know what we want, right? Laying those things out from the start and setting those things up for the after project, you can do this over and over and over. Rinse repeat,
So we get to go check it out?
¿Qué ole? ¿Cómo andamos? ¿Ya estuvo, Castro? No, está bueno. ¿Está abierto o no? Oh, it's being painted or what? So, we have this little project here. The reason I keep saying we've had so many setbacks, mainly with the city, with the county. They've made us rip out flooring, open up a lot of the sheetrock. There was actually a beam here. In the beginning, when I first did my first deal, I thought I had to know everything about construction, about everything, literally everything. I don't know how they did it, and I don't even care. That's why I hired them, right? So you find the right people who know how to do the thing, right? A hard money lender, they're gonna know how the financing works. So I'm like, you know, having that relationship with them to be able to fund the deal. Same thing with a contractor. Every piece of the puzzle. Like, you don't have to know everything. And that's one of the most beautiful things. And it alleviates some of that stress. You don't have to know everything. How do you feel about that?
I agree. I think you got to delegate because a mentor of mine once said, like, in every deal you need experience, it just doesn't have to be yours.
Ooh, I love that.
Right. And so, like, especially for people that are new, if they want to get into this, it's like that's where you have a mentor or a friend or someone that has already done it before, willing to teach you the ropes. Like, that's the big thing, is like you really want someone to kind of do that, because to your point, they're thinking, when someone looks at a flip, they're thinking all the tasks that go into it, and they watch the HGTV shows, this, that, and the other, and they're like, I could never do that.
Yeah.
And again, it comes back to the limiting belief. And they're like, oh, I got to know, like with construction, like, okay, the I-beam, and I got to know everything from the countertops. I got to know it has to be, 36 inches off the ground and then an 18-inch backsplash and blah, blah, blah. And the cabinet has to fit, and like stuff that I never knew and didn't even give a crap about. What happened? I did the same thing. Hired the right people. They knew what they were supposed to do. I just trusted them.
That's really all it is. Hire the experts.
Yeah,
they know.
Because you're not going to be it. But then what happens is, as you do multiple deals, you start gaining the knowledge where you kind of become the expert, and then you know if they're doing the right job or not. And so I do think it's important, and you probably can attest to this on your first deal, you're probably pretty damn hands-on, just so you could learn everything, so that then on the next deal, you don't get screwed. If you, let's say the plumber you use, he worked on that first one, but the second one he's dropping the ball, you're like, okay, boom, I'm gonna get a new person, and I know the language so I can speak the right way, so that this guy's not gonna take advantage of me.
1,000%. Right on. I think in the beginning, your first couple of deals, 100% be hands-on. Like, you want to know exactly what's going into the property, the kind of materials, the basic fundamentals of what goes into a flip. Like you said, you don't want to get screwed over. Now you can put the right people to do those things over time. Then you can kind of like back off a little bit when you have the right people in place. People that you can trust, that are experts, and they handle everything.
What made you fall in love with this house that made you want to actually buy it?
It was basically a blank canvas. Floors were already ripped off. I didn't think it needed much work. It needed a new roof, huge lot. Like, you see the fence there, it actually extends back beyond that. It's a $12,000 square foot lot, which is pretty big for, like, I know Texas is way different.
No, but that's still freaking huge.
It's huge for the Bay Area.
I'm also thinking LA. LA, you're like 4 to 5.
Really?
And even that's
average over here is about 4 to 6 thousand square feet, lot size. Homes anywhere from like 1,000 to 1,300 square feet.
Yeah,
there's about 1,000 something. One of the things that I definitely want to change from the start, from the get-go, was the kitchen, man. It was so small. Like, literally, a kitchen was just this. That was it. There was a box here, a little closet there, and a little heater there, wall heater. So I was like, you know what? We're definitely gonna move that out.
Yeah.
Open it up. I wanted that open concept, which is why we put the beam. It costs us money, and that opened up whole problems with the county. But I was like, you know what? It's gonna get a lot more money in the end because people love that open concept look versus having like a pull down the middle.
Yes.
Like we don't want to pull down the middle, right? And we're able to put a kitchen island in the middle, which I think gives it a better look. So we'll have the stove dead center along with the island.
Stove top and everything here?
Right.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. With a nice, hanging vent there.
Yeah.
Obviously kitchen sink to look out the window. Fridge there.
Fridge, yeah.
Dude, and I love this counterpiece.
What
the gold accents?
What type of this? Or what,
this is quartz.
Quartz.
Quartz is what we normally use in most of the flips. It's budget friendly, but it's also good quality.
It looks like
it looks exactly. It looks in the price points that we're at. We're not doing like $1 million properties, right? So we don't have to go super high in materials, which gives us a lot of flexibility in terms of the type of materials that we put in our flips. They're budget friendly, but still look nice. At the end of the day, we want it to look nice, but still be quality. Like we don't want to put like the crappiest thing in the flips, right?
That's a lot of what sells.
Exactly.
Is that a lot of what sells houses?
Yeah. And then most buyers, they know. They have an idea of like, okay, it looks nice, but it's also good quality. They're not putting like some, what is it called?
Laminate composite.
Yeah. Like it has to look nice.
I only do that for my rentals.
There you go. So as long as it looks nice and it's decent quality, a buyer will buy a house.
I love this open floor plan. So
right.
So then this will be your kind of like island with the stovetop, everything, kitchen. Is this going to be kind of like a little
dining room,
family dining, like a small living
with a nice hanging light there.
Oh yeah.
And then kind of like living entertainment space here.
Do you stage your properties?
Absolutely.
I would say you
1,000%.
Okay, cool. We could talk all about that. Staging is
one thing I learned from the start. No matter how beautiful this place looks, it's empty. Like it feels lonely. The moment a buyer comes in or a person that comes in, we want them to feel at home. Like, can they envision themselves? Even if there's like a pot here or something, like, I don't know, flower, plant, or couches, sofas, whatever it is, like, oh, they feel at home. It feels cozy. I can picture myself living here. That's what gets them to buy. We want them to envision themselves here versus just like an empty place. It feels cold. It feels empty. Like, maybe my bed doesn't fit here.
They can't see it.
Absolutely.
Some people will not
There's
stage
some realtors that don't stage their houses.
In California, not as much because they know, but like in Texas, all the time.
Really?
All the time. They don't
stage it. Oh, they don't stage it?
Yeah, they won't stage it.
Why is that?
Even in Cleveland, they won't, or they'll virtually stage it. Just because it does, like, granted, think how much staging is. And those margins are smaller, so they're like...
It depends. So wording, verbiage has a lot of power. Is it a cost or is it an investment? I don't see it as a cost. Like, I'm investing in putting staging because I know the value it's going to bring to the new buyer, right? They're picturing it. They can envision themselves here.
I think it makes sense for properties north of 450. I don't know why, but that's kind of like, because like when you're doing, so some of my rentals, right, and deals I did in the Midwest, I'm buying for 50 grand, putting in 30, selling for 130, right? Like, so why am I going to get
those kind of prices?
Why am I going to spend 10K, 5K, whatever it is on staging when one, I don't need it, and two, those buyers aren't going to look at that.
5K for staging?
I think it'd be more. You think less?
We have a pretty good connection to a stager. It's anywhere from like
3 to 5.
No, it's about 2K, 2,500.
Damn.
But we also, I mean, depends on how the stager's pricing works, right? Usually some of them go by room, so living room, dining room, kitchen, bathroom, bed, all that stuff. Or they'll like charge it by the square footage. It really depends on how they price it. So far, we've had a pretty good pricing with the stager that we work with, and they stage it beautifully. Like
that's great. It's like you're saying,
and it works
to connect. It's having that connection to be able to do this to get it to sell,
or just open up your own staging.
Well, yeah, but if it's 2K, like I would, think about it.
5K seem. I mean, unless the homes are pretty big, maybe the amount of bedrooms.
5, 10.
10K for staging.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting.
I don't want to get into that, but there's
Does it come with food, like in the fridge and stuff like that, like that kind of staging?
Yeah, they do high end,
that makes sense.
And it was in a high end neighborhood. It was $1 million.
Okay. Oh, so at that point,
different levels to it.
I mean, at this point, our price point where we sell at is going to be anywhere from 600,000 to 850, maybe 900,000. That's like our sweet spot.
Mm.
And even the types of homes that we flip, we have our buy box, right? Our criteria is very specific. 3-bedroom, 1 or 2 bathroom is like super ideal for us. Mostly cosmetic to somewhat of a fixer-upper. We don't go like full gut job. Foundation work, we try to stay out of that. If it needs a new roof, we'll make it happen. That's not bad. We try to stay out of any properties that are on a hillside. It's harder for the contractors, but also I just think there's a lot of problems when it comes to those kind of homes on a hill. Personally, I stay out of those. It deters a potential home buyer for the home. Like if they see a lot of junk on the yard, and it's like, I don't want to live next to that person. You can't change the location. You can buy the house, but you can't change
the other houses.
Exactly.
That's 100% spot on. 2 things to look for: stay away from major roads, and then you want to also like the neighbors. So like, there's a property I was looking at in Dallas, and we're just checking out just for fun because it was on the market for like 280 days, and I'm like, why is this not selling? Let me go see it. And they tried to flip it. 1, their staging was terrible, but then 2, you come outside, I'm not joking, across the street looks like a crack house. They have stuff everywhere. They are out there doing all this, and it looks bad. And I'm just like, Then you look two houses down on their side, similar thing. And I'm like, no one's gonna buy this.
Yeah,
it's forever gonna be a rental.
Exactly.
Unless they move.
That's interesting. So having different strategies or what do you call it? Exit strategies. Could this work for a flip? Are you doing kind of both?
Like, I do both. I always do. Really? So for me personally, I'm always looking at every deal to have multiple exits. I believe, and I'd love your thoughts, for new time investors, that helps with their peace of mind, knowing like, hey, if the market does change or something happens and I run these numbers, I can always just put a tenant in their cash flow and then sell it later. So I like that just because then it gives them, it's a very conservative route to go, and it's a lot less risk because then they have those multiple exit strategies. And I think at least for your first deals or so, it allows people to kind of dip their toe in without actually like fully jumping in, and kind of like you were like probably like, what the hell when I first did this, and super stressed, right? They're gonna be less stressed because they know, hey, even if this doesn't flip, like, sell, I can always put a tenant in it and I'm gonna cash flow.
Are there certain times when you'll get a property and it's one or the other? Like, this definitely won't rent or this definitely wouldn't sell?
Based off of numbers.
Okay. And then there's some properties where you're like, oh, it could be one or the other. Interesting. So do you ever go into a property, it's like, oh, would you ever go into a property that you couldn't do both with? Would you ever? Oh, you would. So
I have.
Okay.
I have. I've done where I'm just doing straight, like, I call it retail fix and flip, which is what you do, where you buy, renovate, and you sell back on the market. But majority of mine, I'll do having the option for a retail. We call it a turnkey flip, where you put the tenant in there and then you can sell it as an asset, or you can keep it.
So that's a strategy that I've never heard before. At least I haven't seen in this area. Where it's a fix and flip, yet you sell it already with the tenant in place. A single family home.
That's called turnkey?
Turnkey with already a tenant in place. Like,
and it's already cash flow.
And the ideal
buyer. So you're selling it to another investor.
Yep.
The ideal buyer is there. Yeah. They want a property that's cash flowing already with a tenant in place. They don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So what's great with that. What you do is you're buying and flipping right to the buyer, and that's it.
Exactly.
Okay. So I think almost another level.
Just a different
It's a different strategy.
It's a different strategy.
And I don't think it would work in this specific area, considering the Bay Area.
I agree.
Because most people want to live in it. Like, they're buying the house to live in it. Okay. A primary residence. Imagine we put a tenant in here, we sell like that. Like, I don't want to buy it with the tenant in place. Considering also tenant laws and rights, it becomes a hassle for the potential buyer. And it's normally not going to be an investor. An investor is looking for the fixer-upper or the duplex, triplex, fourplex.
Oh, so you could. So it's interesting because you could buy something as like a turnkey, but you could keep it yourself and be like, I'll take the cash flow. And then you could sell it later if you wanted to.
Right.
Is that another strategy?
Yep.
What's that called?
They call it the BRRRR strategy.
That's the BRRRR strategy.
Yep.
So you buy it, you hold it with a person, and you cash flow, and then you sell later.
Yeah. So the BRRRR technically is buy, renovate, right, and then you rent out, and then you refinance, and then you repeat. BRRRR.
BRRRR.
With the ours.
So it's interesting you mentioned. Are you going for rentals? I know we're at a fix and flip property, but what's your ideal buy box for properties to buy and hold? Is it single family homes? Is it more than 2 units, more than 2 doors? Is it both? Or is it like commercial, like, 5, 8 units plus? What's your take on that?
Ideally, I
Mhm.
think the end goal is everyone wants to get to like, the big multifamily, which is 5+. It's hard to start there.
Absolutely.
And it takes a lot of capital. And also those types of deals are few and far between. It's like finding a unicorn. So for me, what I always think is a good idea is to start with single family homes and you can build a small portfolio of that. Let's just say you build like a portfolio of 6. You can actually go package the whole thing and sell it to an investor. And then through that, go buy like a 12-unit or 18-unit apartment complex. And I think that's like a smarter way to scale, is to try that. For me personally, right now, I'll do single family. I do look at some like duplex, triplexes. If they fall in my lap, I'm like, hell yeah. But majority of the markets I'm in is like a duplex or single family.
Interesting. I have a slightly different approach. I see it as what is more bang for my buck. I think of if I can have 2 doors, now I have 2 different incomes coming in. And I think the strategy that works for most people is the house hacking, but with the duplex or from anywhere from 2 doors to fourplex works perfectly for most buyers in this area. Because one, it's more affordable because now they can take the rents of the other units to qualify because it's pretty expensive to live here, right? But if you can use that to help you qualify for a lot more, now you get access into a higher price point, right? Let's say it's a fourplex for $800,000-$900,000, right? Now with your income plus the additional income of the doors, you can qualify for that property, and you have more income coming in versus just one door. If that tenant vacates and it's empty, you have nothing coming in. You still got bills. I guess that's the way I see it, right? Like,
And I agree. I agree with that strategy too. I think it all comes down to the numbers and ROI.
absolutely,
And
of
so that's
course,
all you're looking at.
numbers don't lie.
And
Right,
yeah,
right.
and you're looking at, okay, am I going to get 5% on this or
Mhm.
a 10% or a 15 or whatever? And that's why I think getting to what you're saying, start with a single family was my initial, and that's what I did. And then eventually, as I build that port, then it's like, okay, I have a 12 unit. So yes, if someone's out, it's like
Yeah,
I'm not tripping. I have 11 other doors that are paying for
exactly,
that property, and I totally
exactly.
agree with that.
It's more of a strategy that I heard from Grant Cardone. Obviously, he's buying like 500 unit buildings, right? He's like, if 1 or 10 or 20 people leave, I don't really care if they vacate the property because I have 480 people left to pay, right? I'm still receiving income. So it doesn't hurt. Now I take that and scale it down to whether it's a duplex or a fourplex. I think duplex are like the perfect ideal for someone starting off. Personally, I think a duplex is like the perfect entry level investment up front. And then from
And the
there you can
house
scale.
hack method.
Exactly. House hacking. Live in one, rent out the other, and then do it again. Rinse and repeat. That's like gold right there. Just structure of it, yet
So you
it's
already
almost like a new build, you can say.
I love
Almost.
this. They already rewired and labeled everything.
Yep.
That's great.
Completely
They're just
brand
gonna
new.
put up the panel on.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
So
Oh, bigger bedroom.
check this out. So the bedroom, the closet from behind over there,
Yeah.
came over here. So you literally walked in and it was like you were squeezing
Damn,
inside.
it came that much.
Yeah. So we took this closet out, we put it to the corner.
Yeah.
Yes, once again, it's smaller, but I mean now it's bigger. It feels open.
I like this.
Versus like coming in and you were like coming like here.
You call these bifolds, right?
Yeah.
I like these.
It's a nice style.
And it's so smooth and easy.
It was funny. I think a lot of the outdated or the classical stuff is coming back because this is very
Old.
yeah, old antique.
Old school.
Right. Gold accents are coming back versus like the black and white. Yeah, you still put our signatures are I think in most flippers.
Yeah.
I don't know what colors you use, but we like the black and white and the gold accents.
Yes, if I do a custom flip, it's gold and navy blue for
Navy blue.
for the counter. So for the cabinets, it's
Ooh.
like a deep royal blue or navy blue,
Nice.
white countertops, and then the gold accents.
And what about the tops on the top cabinets on top?
So I play with it. You can do white. So you do white and blue because if it's blue and blue, sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, and then people don't like it. It's too much. But I think as their style, there's someone I even follow in Dallas. I love her style. So she'll always do two different types of colors. So she'll do the top cabinets, the upper is one color, and the bottom something different.
I like that.
And then what she also does, I'll even send this to you, for all of her rooms she paints, because she also tries to make it like look really high end. She'll do the paint a 6-inch strip around a different color.
Like the crown moldy?
And
Really?
she paints it and it looks crazy good. And she'll make it like slightly darker or just a different color. I'll send it to you.
Do you do any like accent walls or accent designs? Like with have you seen those with trims? They'll do like some abstract designs.
I think sometimes it can help in a room to give it character if it's like small and you're trying to like attract attention to something.
Right. Or like the wood paneling.
Or like over a fireplace.
Yeah.
Like redo the fireplace and just make it like, instead of just the brick, you can make it like stucco and you can put like some sort of like tile over it or whatever.
A lot of that stuff from the old days is coming back, but like in a modern way. The wood paneling, like thinner ones versus like the large. Remember?
Don't talk to me about wood paneling. Off my 1,500 square foot, I just did wood paneling.
Really?
And I did all of it, and I was like, I cannot stand wood paneling. And it's a pain in the ass to take off.
Really?
Because it's so, it sticks and then like it doesn't really break. And so the sheets are like this long or this big. So you're popping it here and trying to pull it off here and it's pulling off here. And then it's like stuck into the carpet that's also stuck into the, and you're like, this shit.
Lastly, you could say like the master bedroom. Isn't there like some thing with you can't call master rooms or master bedrooms anymore? It's more of a primary room.
Primary.
So this is the primary.
Yeah, you can't call it master suite anymore. Or they just say it like sounds racist. Or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. So welcome to the primary bedroom with its own primary bathroom.
So this should be a closet?
Was that?
This used to be a closet or no?
Oh, so this is the change that we made. In the hallway, there was a closet. It was right here. This is a closet, door was that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, okay, what can we get more? This is the thing about flips. How can you add the most value? What's going to get you the most value? Is it a bigger bathroom or a little closet and a smaller shower? I was like, we need a big shower because it's the primary bedroom, of course. They have a big garage, which I'll show you in a bit. They can put more storage over there. So they don't really need that closet here. This is going to add more value.
100%.
Would you guys agree?
Of course.
So, and it was really nice. I love this.
So I was going to ask you, do you do that? Do you do like tile or sometimes it's tile like this and then you'll do like an accent?
This is the first time where we do an accent wall shower.
So
and it looks beautiful. Yeah. This is actually a contractor's design suggestion. And I think it was beautiful.
I've seen it on a few different flips and I'm just like, interesting.
I love it, man.
Or they'll do like...
And it's almost like a wood after it's like washed out, but beautiful, man.
Vanity would go here?
Yep.
Okay.
They're outside. Did you see them? It matches this.
That's fine.
Oh, it's like your farmhouse like style, modern style. I love like the
farmhouse, modern. Yeah.
Exactly.
Chip and Joanna.
There you go. So this is it. Next up, the garage, and then we'll go to the backyard.
So I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Do you know where do you get your lights?
So on this specific flip, we're working with a contractor where this is the thing about selecting the right people. Here's the keys. Let me know when it's finished. I haven't come to like, really do much. I just come to like check it out. They're handling literally everything. In the beginning, I was a lot more hands-on. Okay, like I gotta go Home Depot, I gotta go Lowe's, I gotta go this. It was a lot of hands-on. A lot of my time was wasted, running to the stores. Like I got other things to do. I got a job to focus on, right? And this just like a lot of you freed up a lot of my time. I'll be honest. I have no clue.
Why I asked you is because so I was doing very hands off and I switched to hands on because I'm doing my first custom flip, and I want to like know everything, understand everything. I'm doing the framing, I'm doing the demo, I'm like watching the plumbers and I'm watching the electricians.
Right.
And so I ordered all the lights. I got them on Amazon. And I got a pack of 24 for $95, and I was hyped as shit. And I got 2 of those, and I was like, "Bro, I spent $200 for 48 can lights." I was like, "Say less."
1000%, man.
I
think
I
Amazon.
love finding little deals like that.
I was
Amazon
even
is great.
Great. I was even thinking about doing a video like the Amazon house where
Bro.
you buy everything Amazon. Honestly, because most of the stuff,
Yeah, door handles.
door handles,
Great.
you can literally buy everything nowadays. You can buy a house on Amazon.
No.
Swear.
They do
Look it
real
up.
estate on Amazon?
Yes. $40,000, $50,000. You can order a house. Of course.
What if, wait, what if you become a real estate investor and it's all fix and flips from Amazon?
Now, does that lower your status? Because now you're selling like, okay, how do you view Amazon? Is it like the cheap, low quality materials, or is it like, you know what I mean?
Got a lot of
I want people to.
my whole
I love
music
Amazon.
recording studios.
Amazon?
Yeah.
I love Amazon.
Fuck yeah.
I love it too.
But like, you can get these on Amazon for
Absolutely.
$75.
Absolutely.
You can get a pack of 12 or 10 of these for like $100.
My most recent rental that I'm fixing up, converting, all Amazon.
Yeah.
Saved some. The stove hood vent, I saved like less than half of the, or more than half of the cost that would have cost at Home Depot, and Home Depot's considered like the cheapest option.
Yeah.
Amazon, $50 for
Yeah.
a stove hood, quality, highest reviews. I'm like, no brainer.
I agree. I love Amazon. My whole
Outlets
like
like
stuff on the internet is Amazon, Home Depot,
mhm.
and then I'll do like Pinterest for like all my storyboards and stuff.
There you go.
Out. Like that's all I'm doing.
This is so much. This is like a masterclass on how to flip a house.
Yeah.
Literally.
You guys are getting tons of value on this one. So we have a lot of material in here, but it's a pretty decent sized garage.
Oh yeah.
2-car garage. I have no clue, man. I know it's a 2-car.
Our me and my wife live is our granny in it.
Yeah.
That was a garage.
Oh, really?
So
is it 1-car or 2-car?
It's 2-car.
2-car.
Have you been inside there?
I haven't.
Okay.
I just recently
It's like
visited.
a little over 700 square feet.
Okay.
But we literally.
Is it somewhat of a?
It reminds me of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like. Yeah.
So funny enough, my contractor on this one, he literally bought the exact same home design and everything layout like a few blocks away.
Mhm.
He converted his property, so it's a main home, and he converted this into an ADU.
Yeah. The garage.
The garage.
Yeah,
This
smart.
like I think it's a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom. He's cash flowing like crazy.
So he's got 2 different tenants.
Absolutely.
So he just
Oh,
turned
for
it
one
into
home.
a duplex.
So that's another strategy too.
I was going to talk about ADUs.
Oh, bro, that's the play right now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Buying a single family house, if it has a detached or attached garage, I think convert it, or add, if it has the square footage, add an ADU. That's the play.
We were literally like, my wife and I are obviously want to move eventually.
Mm-hmm.
We already know who we would want to put in there for my parents. Like we have one homie who we know would want to live on his own in a nice little spot. Doesn't need too much. He's a single dude in his early 30s.
Nice.
So it depends on where, because like different people want different things, bro. If you're not trying to, you're a single guy or girl and you're not trying to have a family right this second, like I don't need a whole house, but I don't want a tiny ass apartment. Maybe I do want an ADU.
What is
you get the backyard, front yard vibes. A lot of apartments, bro, you don't get that homey feel.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I realized this year, whether you have a 1-bedroom studio, apartment, whatever you want to call it, upwards of like 5 bedrooms, 10 bedrooms, there's always a demand. People need a place to live.
Everything works.
I had such a demand for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath that I recently rented out. That blew my mind. I'm like, people need housing, which is why real estate investing like will never go out of style. You can make so much money, build incredible wealth.
Need a place to live.
People will.
It's a needs-based business.
Is there ever a time where the market is stupid question, but I just want to know it. Ever a time where the market's really just bad
for rentals or for what?
Everything, like even for investors, because
I think there's always a.
I always hear realtors complain, "Oh, the market's bad, whatever," right? Which I know is bullshit. But is there ever a time where investors are like, "Sheesh, this is"?
There is. You'll notice it, but what I'll say is that there's always an opportunity. Either you create it or there is one already, and you just take action on it.
Like when the market crashes, I don't know much about this stuff, but if the market crashes and goes way down, isn't that a great time for real estate investors? Because you're like, dude, you're buying up shit for way fucking cheap.
At a discount.
Yeah, exactly.
Winter season, it's the best time to buy. Everybody's on hold. Everybody's on pause.
No one wants to move in the winter.
Now
exactly. You buy now.
Now you're really telling the secret.
Oh, this is This is free game right here. You buy right now, fixer uppers. You sell in spring. Oh my God.
Killing.
Best, and it's funny because people think the winter's the worst time to buy. Even in my markets, winter's the best time to buy. And we talked about this, so we'll put everyone on game.
It is.
If you list a property end of September, early October, and that property is still there after Thanksgiving, that property is not selling until March.
Yeah.
And so every investor come in, they're gonna lowball that person. If that person's motivated to move, you're getting a hell of a deal. And then you go buy it, you renovate it during the winter, which is perfect because it's not like you're missing out on selling, right, on an opportunity. And you can even go slow. 3-4 months, all of a sudden March, April hits, put it on market, boom.
Yeah.
You're timing the market perfectly.
That's how you time the market. So you buy it in quarter 1 and you sell it in quarter 1.
Or buying
quarter 4. You buy it in quarter 4.
If you want to like even put months on there, I would say February. No. Winter season is your buy time. Sell like in the peak, whereas like February to end of summer.
Yeah, like August, September.
Right.
Oh, that's a long.
It's a pretty big. Long. I mean, obviously there's a peak there, but like it's your selling point,
February
selling time.
To August.
Because like people are going back into spring season.
Stash some cash, chill, and then once winter hits again,
buy, rinse, and repeat. It's like your wave, right?
Yep.
Buy, hold, and sell.
That's smart. Yeah. That's good.
If your strategy is fixing and flipping.
Okay.
It's completely different when you're buying and holding for rental properties. Maybe not the buy side. Like obviously you're gonna find incredible deals now. There might not be as many options though. So that's the caveat. While it's still an incredible time to buy now in the winter season, you might not have many options because right now who's selling? People that need to sell. Versus like the spring market, you have a lot more options to choose from, but now you're competing. So there's never perfect time either. Okay. So you said that trying to find a perfect time. There's never a perfect time. Pick your poison and just go after it.
That's
free game right there.
That's free game. So this is the backyard. So remember how I said backyard. I'm not as hands-on anymore?
Yeah.
My dad and I, we put up that fence.
Oh, you did? That's dope.
So this is the fence.
There was nothing there before?
There was, but the fence is falling apart.
Okay.
So we took it down, obviously, and we put up a new one. But the yard extends all the way over there. Once again, 12,000 square foot lot.
Dude, this is
okay,
huge.
but here's my question. Why is that cool? Because I can't do shit with this. The down, like all
well,
this downhill.
You can.
What can I do with all that?
Once again, you're limiting yourself.
What can I do with it?
For a buyer, the way you can market it is extend, put some nice posts, and extend the porch. Maybe a porch side.
We can make a porch out here.
Extend down over there.
They have engineers, dude, that literally work on engineers that literally study dirt. And engineers that study all this, and they can go and you could engineer this whole thing, and this could go all the way down, and it could terrace down 3-4 different levels.
Terrace down.
It would be super
Honestly,
expensive.
There's so many. It really depends on the buyer's option, right?
You could make a deck out here, though.
You can make a deck. You can make like levels and just put like your garden.
Yeah, you can.
If you don't want to do anything else, just like something to look at.
Like a level garden. Yeah,
you can do a little pathway where you can walk down and. There's tons of options.
You can create little nooks to go read and hang out.
Exactly.
You can plant shit.
Oh, wow, you can do
but the coolest part that I think, you might not see it now because it's cloudy and foggy and raining, but there's actually incredible views. The sunrise over here, oh my God. Yeah. And you can see it from the primary bedroom when the sun rises and sets. Oh, it's beautiful.
This opening here to the next house?
So that's probably something.
Would you ideally want to extend that fence so you have that privacy?
Ideally, yeah.
Because imagine if
once
all
again,
the stuff you just talked about, but then it's completely open to the next people over there.
So we're in a unique town, you could say, El Sobrante. It's very rural.
Okay.
Right? So people have chickens and horses and all that stuff. Where I'm going with that is there's not much it doesn't create that many problems unless you really wanted your entire privacy. You can for sure put a fence, but most people are chill about it. We put this little fence here where you can head down.
You saw how it terraced up? It's like the same thing. So think of it, imagine if you live down there and this terraced up, you just create different levels.
Like imagine if this extended maybe 10, 20 feet, you put some nice posts down there.
Yeah.
I mean, you have an incredible backyard, huge.
Right.
Now that you talk
Is
about
there work involved? Is it a cost? 100%. But I think you just open up the opportunity, the potential. Oh wow! They knocked down those trees. So that house in the corner we were talking about.
Oh, damn.
Don't forget, we're gonna run those numbers
Yes,
in a bit.
we are.
But they're already fixing it up. That's.
So did someone buy it?
I think so.
Damn.
I wonder how much.
You gotta.
I was not gonna buy it for the price that they were.
What are they saying?
listed at.
$490?
I'll check right now, but I think it was like around 490, something like that. It just didn't make sense for our numbers. What were the numbers?
We'll run them. And it's cool. They have you have this little outdoor space here.
Yeah.
They can make like a.
I mean, it's big for what you get in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Like there's tons of potential here. You can add an AD over here if you don't want to have the biggest backyard, or just keep it open and for the kids and have some pets. And
You're gonna have to sand this.
I know. The door, of course, it's old,
Yeah.
but that's
That's sick, dude. I love this. This property's dope.
yeah.
This is great.
It's taken us a while, but
When did you guys buy it?
hopefully we bought it back in June. This has been our longest project to date. Even though the work itself, if we didn't have to go through this, all the problems that we went through with the city and the county, easily we could have been in and out of this thing within 3 months, from start to finish. Start to finish. We could have sold this back in, what was it? Maybe September, end of September, maybe beginning of November. What is it? December, middle of December. We know that we're not gonna sell it right now. We're not putting the market. It doesn't make sense right now. We'll probably hold off another month or so, and then list it to get the most money for it. But we're nearing towards the end here. ¿A poco?
Like on all these.
When would you sell it? Because it depends on what time.
Let's say you just got it, and it's gonna take you
6 months. Because it's a big project.
Yeah, let's say it's like you're listing it in after 5 months. So yeah, in the 6
Call it 6 months.
Yeah.
Worst case always.
Okay.
So you can get. That'll bring you around spring market.
Yeah, spring, summer.
Spring, summer. Call it $750.
Okay.
That's a good conservative price point.
And
on the low end,
repairs.
Go 160.
Okay.
So that's gonna include permitting and.
What do you think the taxes are on that?
Oh, asking for taxes as well. Okay. Is it like 1%, 2%?
Sometimes.
Go 2%.
Okay. So then, well, now I gotta use math. Thank you.
Sorry, man.
We can use financing. Let's just use hard money financing to make this fun. So do like 90% of purchase price, 100% of repairs at 11%, 2 points. So if you run
I'm sorry, it's 400,000. I just checked right now.
It's 400?
400,000.
Oh, not 400.
So not bad.
Okay, so 400. Okay, so if you went flip route, according to this, if you got it for 400, you would invest, total cash invested would be like 88.5K if you went with that type of lender, and you profit $138,500.
100 how much?
$138,500 in 6 months.
Okay. There was something there that we said no to. I think when it was listed, our time frame, we're trying to sell it in this market, so we had to wait an extra like 2 months or something like that, our holding costs, something like that. And then maybe our rehab was upwards close to maybe 200,000. I call it 180, 190. Maybe that's what it was.
Even if you do that, let's just play again that game.
Yeah.
So let's say you said 160. Let's just say 200.
Okay, 200 worst case.
Yeah. You're looking at still a 95K profit.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
For 6 months.
For 6 months with you only putting 10% down, 11% interest, 2 points, 100% of the repair cost covered. So you're all in $91,000, like 91.5, and you make 95. It's 100% returns. You can't be mad at that. 6 months, that's great.
Not bad. I like the get in, get out, quick flips. That would have been a job.
Yeah.
I like the cosmetic, get in, get out, rinse and repeat.
Do you feel like you would have had to like move things around in there, like a lot more stuff, like open it up?
There was a big foundation problem. The whole back half was like, cause it's on a hill. That one's closer to the hill, the edge of the hill, than this one. This one you still extend outwards first and then drops, right? That one you're like, where the trees were. There's about 10 feet, 10 foot clearance. Yeah. So it's like, drops.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Seems like you picked the right one.
Yeah. If you love that kind of content, make sure to subscribe for a lot more valuable content. Got the boy Lee. Appreciate you for coming out, man. Oh, man. And the boy Connor. Bro,
fun.
tons of free game, tons of
Yes.
valuable stuff there.
Awesome.
Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. And we'll do this again soon.
That was great.
Heck yeah, man. On to the next flip.